Listen, guys, I want to prove something to you, right? So this is about having real faith, right? Don't be trapped in your mind to think otherwise, right? Think outside the mind with this. You need to use your intuition right now. So the system's very afraid of the witness, and I'm going to prove this to you, just how afraid the system is, okay? I made a lot of videos about this, about my life, and I urge you watch the videos I made the last 2 days. I urge you come to the Street Wisdom Bible page and the Wisdom page on Facebook. My name's Kim Lakeford, my account. But go to my witness page or Street and Wisdom Bible page. The page, not the groups, the page. Listen carefully, guys. Let me tell you something, right? Okay, 6 international events were created for the AI system, right? With facial recognition and Interpol. NASA, the biggest think tank in the world, right? NSA, the global system. Listen carefully. They recorded me as a mastermind on their documents, right? Okay, it's a lot of information here that I go into a lot of details about. I want you to just listen to me for a moment. This is what happened, right? Just consider this, right? They set me up for money laundering and the case was corrupted. I was the only one telling the truth. I gave 90% of my money away. Okay, it was declared, right, that the CMC and the head of federal police put my wife and kids on witness protection against their will, was responsible for this in the most corrupt case. They put my wife in witness protection and it's corrupted. So was the whole case. Peter Dutton was forced to step down, right? He was told by Chief Justice of Jersey in a parliamentary crime and crime to step down. He's responsible for this. He put my wife and kids in witness protection against their will. So this, okay, got overturned because it was corrupted. These 2 cases put in every university in Australia, right? So you can go and read the documents to ensure such cases never happen again by Chief Justice of Jersey himself. Now, this guy gets promoted to be a minister when he's supposed to step down. Now, he unlawfully deports me and threatened 3 lots of lawyers, cancel a BFS and visa I don't have. Now, I've got a lot of information about this, but I want you to listen to me very carefully. A guy filled out an affidavit. They tried to set me up for 3 separate murders. He tried to get my wife to set me up for her brother's murder when her brother murdered his wife in Alice Springs. Darren Ashley in Alice Springs, you can Google this, stabbed his wife 27 times. He's also born the 27th September, the same day as I am. Right? In the articles, you see that he's tried to set up his brother-in-law and said it was his brother-in-law that did it, which was a drug lord. So that's me, right? If you go into reports, you can see my name in this, involved in this, in all the inquiries, if you want to go that deep, right? So they tried to get me to set me up for his murder, and there was absolute rock-solid evidence he did himself. I wasn't even in the state. It had nothing to do with it. It was a setup. Very easy evidence to see that. It was a setup. Now, my ex-wife, who was on witness protection, who they tried to get her to set me up for this, she was with a guy, another boyfriend. They had a child. His name is Jeff Jardine, and he's green as a cut snake. I mean, he's straight as a die. I've never met him in his life. Something happened with child fear, so he wrote to me, and then he wrote me an affidavit subject to perjury, right, that the federal police was trying to set me up for this murder, right? My wife already told me that, but he wrote an affidavit, right, to back it up, subject to perjury. So when I get unlawfully deported, right, he gets put in as a minister while I'm in the deportation center. He gets promoted to be a minister. Then he's sitting there under a conflict of interest making a decision, which is highly illegal. Highly illegal for him to make the decision under the conflict of interest. Then he receives the affidavit that he is the one responsible for everything, and also the head of federal police, right, that's responsible for trying to set me up for murder. So he's sitting with the affidavit that implements himself. The one responsible is supposed to step down. So he's up there in corruption and he's creating more corruption. Then he threatened 3 lots of lawyers, and you can research this with John, the manager for Australian Proponent, with 2 of the lawyers. They threatened the lawyers so they wouldn't do the case, right? And he can confirm that. He's willing to confirm that with anybody. What's astonishing about this, I write 3 official letters that if I'm get unlawfully deported, God will send me through the toughest facial recognition in the world in a glitch with evidence, right? So that happens on 6 international events, and I wasn't on a single camera, but everybody else was, and I wasn't a glitch in the system. Fully backed up with evidence. Fully backed up with evidence. That's why this is the most important document in the world, what the results is, right? Because the results, after 3 official letters filed like this, and the investigation done, I was not on camera, but everybody else was. And the head of border security and atheists changed his whole face system. And he wrote on the documents, there was no other evidence. This is the most powerful evidence in modern history to prove to you that God does exist, according to his own evidence. You can FIR the documents. What's astonishing about this is that Peter Dutton gets on national TV spineless. Go and look at the videos. He's nervous as anything. Go and have a look at the real evidence here, right, on all the news channels across Australia. He is going up there and he's so scared about this. Imagine being a person in his position, corruptedly got into position, under the conflict of interest, has the affidavit for murder, unlawfully deported me, right, threatened 3 lots of lawyers so I couldn't get to court. Then I'm back in Australia right under his nose and he's being questioned about this. You could see how scared he is. You want to know how scared he is? I'll tell you how scared he was. When that verdict got passed down by the head of Border Security, that night at 2 o'clock in the morning, think about this, guys. Open up your mind, think outside the mind, and pay attention, because you can FOI all this stuff. You can FOI every single thing. Listen to me carefully. 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm taking out the Brisbane tarmac on the back of the East Brisbane Airport. The back of the Brisbane Airport tarmac. From the detention centre. With 55 officers. And they were blown away, man. Like, you see what I mean? The top system here, right? The biggest think tank. The biggest think tank recorded me for everything as a mastermind who brought the cure humans into humanity with the most mythological events. Right? Been dead 3 times, come back, brought my wife back to life 3 times with evidence. Imagine how these people feel when I'm the most watched by the biggest think tank. The most wanted. They've been watching me like this for years, right? And they stopped my book, right? They did a lot of things by the biggest think tank. And here they are that fucking scared when they see evidence like this. The most powerful evidence where the in America, when I went to LA, we put out the nuclear wars with the same glitch in the system, right? Where the whole system went down for 10 days, right? With every single system in NSA, the biggest think tank, quantum computer from NASA, Pine Gap Area 51 in Australia. That's where we put the glitch into. That's where I got the mind power, right? That's where God's got some mind power to put the whole security system in a glitch, like the document says. And that's the evidence, right? So now we have this whole system going down. The biggest think tank in the world and their whole system, right? And the AI system and facial recognition system, their most sophisticated security system in the world, goes down on 6 international events and 10 downs in all the 10 days with all the nucleus at the same time when it was in LA. Put the whole system out of glitch. The whole system for 10 days, right? The power that God has here, right? And you know what? It's about time you wake up to this, with this kind of power that God has against the AI system, the reincarnation trap. So let me make something clear to you. I'm on the tarmac with 55 officers, single-handedly. No violence, never stole, never lied, never hurt anyone, no violent offence, never in human history. And here they are that scared on a 747 with 55 officers. Listen, Con Air, eat your heart out. Here's the evidence that you can record. They had phenomenon there. They were all cameraed up. They were that shit scared. The minister was that shit scared that he put me on the tarmac with 55 officers. He was that terrified. That terrified of the witness with this kind of mythological event. And you know what you saw happen there? Go and have a look at everything. FI over the whole documents. You will see that over half of them had a bad gut feeling and wouldn't get on the plane. Then I had to stand on top of the stairs in the plane, right? I had to talk to them and give them faith that nothing was going to happen because they were too scared to get on the plane. Something mythological happened in their gut feeling, survival mode. And they got a shiver in their spine and wouldn't get on the plane. I had to make the okay for them to get on the plane. That's the power I have. And that's how scared the whole system was. So when you get that through your thick skull, you might want to turn to my pages and start paying attention to me, right, with the AI reincarnation trap you're about to come into. Reincarnation trap, you've got amnesia and you've got to wake up from the reincarnation trap. You don't believe in it? Watch my videos for the last 2 days and don't miss out on one of them. You've got to understand, I come with the greatest lesson in human history to make you understand what the meaning of life is and break free from the reincarnation trap. If you don't believe in that, trust me, you're going to regret it for 1,000 years and wish you were dead because it's happening all over the world right now in the AI system. People are being stuck on the reincarnation trap with personalities in the AI system where they wish they pray not to die. The personalities, the conscious thoughts, the trap people are going into, happening all over the world right now in the time that you're in. So go to my pages, pay attention, and understand you need to resurrect back in your primal state and think outside the mind and break free from amnesia and the reincarnation trap. I'm the only words in the world that can teach you that and the meaning of life. So pay attention to me. Do not deceive yourself. Do not let your mind control you. You're trapped in your mind.